This is Morning Motivation for Educators on the Be Podcast Network. Learn about all the shows at bepodcastnetwork.com. You'll hear from a variety of formal and informal educators who help put this podcast together. If you'd like to contribute your voice to the show, please go to morningmotivationedu.com to apply. Good morning, my friends. I am Candice Noss, a physical therapist, a life coach, a lifelong Christian, a mother of 6. And I created my business, the Mind, Body, Spirit Trifecta, where I liberate, enlighten, and empower others to elevate their mind, body, and spirit and own their divine greatness. Happy Thankful Thursday! I invite you to take a moment sometime today and reflect upon what you are thankful for this week. Today, I am thankful for understanding that thoughts are not facts. The truth is, we aren't even the source of most of the thoughts that land in our head. However, we do choose which thoughts we allow in our brain and continue to think in our minds. There is a powerful tool available that helps us realize our thoughts are not facts. The tool is recognizing the point of view that our thoughts come to us in. Think about how you speak. Do you ever talk about yourself in the second person? No. What do your thoughts sound like in your head? I challenge you to do a brain dump to find out. Just get out a piece of paper and write the stream of thoughts down. Now don't judge or edit or make any of it sound any different. Just simply dictate the internal dialogue in your mind onto the paper. Now examine your brain dump. Do you have any you statements or any they, he, she statements? Now, if you were the source of all the thoughts in your mind, then every thought would come in the first person point of view. They would all be I statements. But you are not the source of all your thoughts. And it's easy to tell which thoughts are not yours. Thoughts that come from a source outside of yourself will present in the form of the second or third person point of view, as you statements or he, she, they statements. I am so grateful for this obvious tool in discerning that voice which is influencing my mind. Understanding the point of view of our thoughts can create transformational shifts in the way that we think about ourselves, others, and the circumstances of our life. Let me repeat this concept again. Second and third person thoughts are not coming from us. They are from an outside source. These you statements and he, she, they statements are there in our heads, yes, but we are not the source of them. And thoughts are not facts. They're up for grabs. And if they don't serve us, it is our power and our privilege to reject and dismiss them. It is up to us to stay vigilant about the thoughts in our minds. The mind is the battlefield. Which voice in our head will you hearken to? Which voice are you hearkening to? We have the power to take ownership and become the boss of our brains as we determine which thoughts serve us and are coming from a good source and which thoughts are not serving us and we get to eliminate from our minds. The past week, I've been bombarded with a barrage of second and third person thoughts. There was an incident which rocked my world a little bit and opened the door for these thoughts that came in as you and he, she, they statements. I did my own brain dump. And here are some of the second and third person sentences that were in my head. She thinks you are stupid. They don't like you. He thinks you are a joke. He thinks you aren't good enough. She doesn't like you at all. In fact, she despises you. They wish you weren't around, ever. They want to avoid you at all costs. They don't want to interact with you or your kids. He thinks you are a mess, unorganized, and always coming up short. You will never be accepted, let alone loved by them. And blah, blah, blah. As I believed these ugly thoughts, negative feelings such as shame, betrayal, disappointment, judgment, insecurity, doubt, and fear showed up, which took a toll on me, attacking my worth, identity, and relationships. The brain dump reminded me that I was being influenced by an outside force bent on tearing me down. The evidence was in the point of view that the thoughts came in. The thoughts I was buying into that initially seemed like just the cold hard truth of reality were actually a false, deceptive, misleading interpretation of the circumstances. The proof was in the point of view that the thoughts came in. Remember, our lower brain has a negativity bias, and it is influenced by the natural man, tribal paranoia, and extreme survivalism. Thoughts are not facts, and it is our power and privilege to choose which thoughts to continue to think, nurture, and believe. These second and third person thoughts were not serving me. After processing the emotions, yes, each and every one of these intense emotions, after processing them, I was able to do some head hygiene and intentionally believe thoughts that do serve me, such as, I am awesome and sometimes I am a mess and I love me anyway. I am doing the best I can and their opinion of me is none of my business. I strive to show up in alignment with my highest self and I am not for everyone. These thoughts leave me feeling grace, faith, confidence, and even empowerment. The telltale sign for figuring out that I was not the source of those thoughts and that those thoughts were not facts was the you and the he, she, they statements, which were unmistakably evident as I brain dumped. Once I woke up to the point of view of these thoughts, I took back my power and once again became the boss of my brain. Friends, the mind is the battlefield between right and wrong, truth and error, good and bad. I often laugh as I remember that picture of Donald Duck with an angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other, trying to decide which one to listen to. I consider it of paramount importance to know and recognize the strategies that outside sources use to either build us up or those meant to tear us down. I want to choose good, truth, and right every time. So I must hearken to the voice in my mind that would serve my highest good. It's important to know how the enemy operates and the tools that we can use to overcome and protect ourselves. I wholeheartedly agree with Larry Lawrence, who said, quote, "We need to study the enemy's tactics in order to defeat him," end quote. Through research, experience, prayer, pondering, and study, this is what I know about the battle that goes on for our souls. Satan's game plan is to destroy us. His weapons include shame, fear, doubt, and disbelief, to name just a few potent ones. He injects these intense emotions into our minds through the thoughts that are deceptive. They are lies. The enemy also uses thoughts that are discouraging, and he works to distract us from the things that really matter. His strategy is to attack our identity, purpose, and worth, and to attack our relationships with God, ourselves, and others. But, like G.I. Joe says, now you know, and knowing is half the battle. One of my heroes is Joseph Smith, who said, quote, "Knowledge does away with darkness, suspense, and doubt. For these cannot exist where knowledge is," end quote. By knowing that our thoughts are not facts, but are powerful weapons Satan uses against us, we can remain uber aware of what we are thinking and therefore avoid ignorantly falling for the thought traps that would snare us. Analyzing the point of view of our thoughts is a powerful tool for winning the battle in our head and becoming the boss of our brain. Brain dumping is a great way to figure out what thoughts are in our heads. Remember, you are not the source of all these thoughts. Once on paper, you can examine them. Are these you or he, she, they statements? Do they serve you? Are they true? Are they absolutely true? I am so thankful to know that thoughts are not facts. I am grateful for the understanding that we have the power to dictate what thoughts we will continue to think. I love that ultimately we get to take full ownership over what we will believe about ourselves, about others, and about God. If you find yourself struggling with second and third person thoughts, reach out to me. There is so much more to this. I am so thankful for the power of knowledge and awareness. Thank you for joining me today and for being part of my journey. I believe in you, and I truly am thankful for you. If you'd like more from me, grab my free video about taking your self-talk from crappy to happy. Or I'd love for you to join my Thankful Thursday email and listen to and subscribe to my podcast called Designed for Greatness with Candice Noss. Links are in the show notes. And whatever role you have in education, we have a podcast for you at bepodcastnetwork.com. Who among your friends and colleagues needs to hear this message today? Please share it with them right now.